Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. My name is Caitlin Cordani. I am a travel agent with Archer Travel, and today we're going to do a part 2 to content planning. What I'm going to do today is put a schedule together for my European series. So I'm planning content for September to October. And basically, I'm going to show you how I do that on the calendar in Notion. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so you can see here, I'm already set to get started. Here's my US series that's currently running. I'm doing this road trip right here for Oregon and Washington, and then we're going to resume with Ohio and Oklahoma. But today is content planning for Europe. That's the next continent we're going to in my series. So we are working on this setup. So I've already done the European countries. I've figured out the list. In my last episode for content planning, you'll see I had worked with chat, kind of got aggravated with Chat GPT to put together a list of countries and things to do while I was researching everything for the content. So we're going to Ireland in a road trip in Europe. So I took this out of the list. So here we have 30 different countries that are in Europe. So what we're going to do is put these on the calendar. I researched places to eat, to visit, restaurants, transportation, and travelers tips, but I don't like the tips, so we're going to try to do something different on another time. The process that we're going to explore today is actually putting all of this on the calendar. So let's see. We already did Andorra. So I'm going to scroll down. So this road trip in with Bon Viaggio bookings is the European road trip that I'm planning. So our series is the planner calendar. It looks kind of empty. This is the 1st of September right here. So we've got all of the 1st of September starts here. And you got to plan for a day before when your content's supposed to go out on the planner. If you don't plan for the day before and you're stuck putting content out the same day, you're going to miss your deadlines. So this works for me. You can plan for days before, weeks before, even a month before, like I'm doing here. We're doing 2 weeks in advance. So we're going to be working on this road trip here. But this is going to go out on the 14th, the publication date. So this is the first country. You can see how I've got it planned. Okay. But what we're going to do here is I've got to open up a new. This is my projects board. I don't have projects made for, sorry guys. I don't have projects made for Europe yet. All right. So we've got the planner and we're going to the content planning. You just click on it because it's through the 31st. It will be all of these days. So you're in one place for all of these days. And I didn't put a publication date because we're splitting everything up. Okay. So what we're going to do is you can also use this menu and jump to a different country. So what we're going to do is take this information and copy it. So Control C. We're going to click on blog post. Okay. And we're going to put this in a list. So we're doing Austria. And I'm gonna assign this to me and my EOM, Maggie. And this is an idea. We're not working on this. It's just an idea. All right. But we want to change this. It's not a blog post. It's a Facebook, Instagram, and a reel. And then you would link your project here. And then your deadline is September the 14th, but it goes out on the 15th. Just like that. And then you have another property media. I hide that one because I don't really use it, but you can use it if you wanted to. And then, so for places to visit, you can move this section down here. I put this for hot off the press, which is my advertisement. And then down here for drafts, I start with the country that I want to research to educate my clientele about what country we're going to for that day. When you see Maggie's in here too, so she's gonna start working on getting these coffee shops. Maggie, this gave us places to eat and restaurants. So change the restaurant okay. So it gives us more information about the restaurant. So I'm just gonna tab this in to, the alignment of everything. And this way it's more organized and you can see how this is feeding off more information. So we need to look for places to eat, which are 3 places. So what we're gonna do is take this coffee shop and we're gonna pull it down and turn it into a heading. Oops, we're doing, yeah. Okay, so we're turning it into heading 1, and we're gonna do the same thing for diner. Turn it into, this is like the tedious part of planning. It is really, really annoying sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's much easier to go through because you get these tabs on the side. And so now we have different transportations. So we're gonna do trains and buses, and I don't need to copy paste. It'll actually take me more time to do that than it would to, I'm actually gonna do trains and buses. And then now we've got room to figure out the places to visit. So we can do this place to visit here. And then another place to visit here. And then another place to visit here. All right, so now that you've seen how I set it up to do the research, you're probably wondering, but where does the content schedule come into play? So what you want to do is take the 3 places to eat, 1 transportation, and 3 places to visit. So that's 7 posts, right? And don't forget, we've got a traveler's tip of the day as well. So I use Chat GPT. I'm going to start a new conversation. It is similar. Can't spell. Country coffee, place to visit one, hot off the press, place to visit two, lunch, traveler tip of the day, place to visit three, dinner. Yes. Okay. Actually, yeah. So it's broken down. So you're not posting food. Place to visit, place to visit, place to visit. You're providing education, you're giving them an itinerary build, you're showcasing talents that you have for finding niches, hole in the walls, itinerary building, things like that. Your schedule does not determine when the clients would be actually traveling to these destinations. That would be totally different, planned out. This is just showcasing what you want to do for your content planning. All right. Let's do it. 9:30. Maggie, are you good with a final post? It could be, it could be like a highlight reel for the night to go over everything that wherever we traveled to for that day.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the closest I can get it to the schedule that I was wanting. This schedule works. We need to convert these times to Pacific Standard Time as well. I'm so done with chat. Sometimes you just have to be real specific. There we go. All right, so here is Central Time. We're gonna go over to the planner, which was here, and content to plan. So I've got this schedule for monthly content this is how you're gonna schedule it out. We're gonna schedule it out that way, right? Let me duplicate this. And all right, so this is the schedule for Central Time. And then I'm going to turn this into heading. Excellent. And now we're going to do EST. All right. So I'm going to try this. It doesn't typically work, but I'll do it. Try it. Yes, all right. So all of these we are going to move under Central Standard Time. Awesome. Why did this change? Oh, I don't have the final post. Because it was, I gotcha. All right, so now that we've got that schedule put together, it took forever to do, and I'm sorry about that. But in this is the easiest way I've been able to find the schedule making to happen. And honestly, it is working with what you want. This is a lot of work, and I've got help, obviously, with Maggie. So that's how I make it happen. But I was doing this on my own. It was hard. It was hard, but I did the time. I took the time to plan my content out because it made it easier for me to keep up with it. So now you have your Pacific and Central Standard Time, or whatever time zone you're in. And then you have your countries list, and then we have the things that we want to do. Okay. So we're just going to watch Maggie put a couple of them onto the calendar so that we can refresh and review what you just learned. And I'm going to open this for you guys so that you guys can see what's going on. And then it's an idea, and I'll fill these in for you guys. All right. So the publication date is not August or yeah, excellent. So it's September the 16th for the publication date. And we'll take a look at the publication calendar once we've got a couple of these in here. So now she's chosen which draft to do. She's going back to the marketing calendar or the content planning section of the calendar that we created, and she's going to put everything right there. Now she's going to move places to visit down to notes. And then where are we going here? Belgium. Perfect. So what's the next one we're going to do? Or did you want to do the titles first?
I was gonna do the titles.
Okay, that's fine. So Notion is fed into my Slack. So this is my Slack, and I have apps down here connected to this. So it told me that I was mentioned by Maggie in a post Belgium, and that's what you just heard. So we're looking at her, we're watching her make these titles. I think these are heading ones. 1, 2, and 3 make these lines smaller. So this is a 1. Okay, if it was 2, it would make it a little indented, and then 3 is even more indented. So we're just watching her do the different titles here, and then we're gonna put our research here with our pictures. So while she's doing that, let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's do Missouri because we've already published this one. So this is what I meant by how we did this. So Missouri started the headings, and then this is a heading 2, so this is smaller, and then heading 3 would be even smaller. So we've got our research here and pictures for Missouri. Just very common monuments, places to visit, the state, things like that. And then we did a place to visit and their pictures, and then another place to visit and the pictures, and a diner, drive-in, and dive, which is a popular show on the Food Network in the early 2000s. So unfortunately, they didn't do a tour in Europe. So we're going to take a plan from what I normally do out of this road trip. So this is how I built the itinerary for the road trip. I broke it down in days, and then where we're gonna stay, and then traveler tips for the week, and then this is the itinerary of like what's to be expected in the schedule. And then we did 7 days. So this was our schedule. You can see it's outlined pretty similarly. And then I did by day for an itinerary and broke it down and basically put it all together like this. And then we did the research for the posts. And then I put the research in order of the posts that was supposed to be scheduled for. And then every day that you put the post together, at the top, you can click on research to bounce back up to the top. You have different statuses, so idea, in progress. I use the in review for like it's done, but it needs to be scheduled, and then published would be completed, I've scheduled it. We're also starting my TikTok account for Bon Viaggio bookings in September. So we're going to be planning more content to be created for every place that we're visiting for that day, to be able to post videos to my TikTok as well. All right, so now we have everything put together. She's also got a little bit of the information already filled in. Super simple, easy to do. I use ChatGPT a lot for my research, and then I go and Google everything to make sure that it's correct and the places to visit are open, the restaurants are open. And if not, I go back to chat and say, well, this place is closed. This place is not in existence anymore. I've had a few of those. And you just kind of got to filter around and filter through everything that you put together in your content, and just make sure that it all is finalized and able to be found for information and everything like that. So For the trains, buses, and trams, we're gonna be putting that together into one like this. Like trains, planes, and automobiles, like the movie. I like that. And then there's also tube options in Europe to go from place to place. So what I'm gonna do is rearrange the content once it's on the calendar, so that the countries can take public transportation from one place to another country, and we could just go from day to day for each country. So it's super easy to redo something. You just pick it up and drag it around just like that. And then this changes the deadline, so you'd have to go in and change it like that. Okay. But if you don't like that, you can always put it back or uh press Control Z. Control Z moves it as an undo button. So that works there. All right. We've got one more place here. So you kind of see how really easy it is to build your content. Once you've got the titles put together, you have, your options to jump through everything. I like to make a couple of enters underneath everything. Maggie's different. You don't have to do this, but my brain says do it because, OCD. But I like to make sure that I'm putting enough space between each post, so to speak, so that I can add pictures. Everything's an advertisement. Okay. I'm not posting, pricing on everything because I I know that prices change and fluctuate from time to time and time of the year, time of the week, really time of the day with flights. So I just want to give, broad education about the place that I'm showing you. It's easier and it's a lot better for your clientele to see that you're knowledgeable about the area that you're sending them. So I think that we're done with that. It was super easy to do. So I definitely don't want to take up too much more of your time. I appreciate you guys for joining this video. I know it's recorded, but you guys are awesome and you're going to do great in your content planning. Thank you again for coming in, and I hope you guys have a great day.